Hello, greetings, and thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to Earground New Voices Amplified. From time to time, I have different guests, and this time around, I have an exciting guest. She's an artist that I've been tracking for some time. I've been following her online. She's delivered some of the amazing performances from some of the shows that are happening online. And we've managed to get in touch with her, and finally, she's here. Vuyo Brown. Thank you so much, and welcome to Earground.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you for having me.
I'm great. I'm great. Just to start off with, a lot of people might need to know. I know Vuyo Brown. That's not that's a stage name, right?
Right. Yeah. It is a stage name. My actual name is Vuyo is of Vuyolethu. My parents gave me that name. My grandmother named me Nokufeza, which means it's Zulu for mother of achievement. Vuyolethu is our joy, and my surname is Ngwenya. So Nokufeza Vuyolethu Ngwenya. Long name.
Great, great. Mother of achievement. Now you're on a roller coaster. Your star is shining. But let's start off maybe from your childhood. You growing up. What was your early childhood like? Where did you grow up? Which neighborhood? What kind of things that were inspiring you?
Right. So my bio reads that for the most part grew up in Bulawayo because my parents kind of moved around. Like I lived in Gwanda, I've lived in Masvingo, I've lived in Harare. I probably grew up in Harare and Bulawayo. So it's mostly Harare and Bulawayo for me. And I was exposed to like different types of backgrounds, because my dad lived in Harare, my mom lived here in Bulawayo. So I've been exposed to every type of let me just say I've been exposed to riches and the poverty of Zimbabwe, and so that's what makes me up, so music for me started at an early age because of all this. I don't know if you know, but if you ever notice, private schools tend to have more exposure to things, and you are left to actually explore things and gifts within you and things that you're really interested in, like swimming. You notice that this kid is more interested in swimming, and so you obviously pay more attention to that. So I always used to have music teachers pay more attention to me because I was always that kid in class who's like quick to grab things. Music has never been hard for me, so that's partly part of my childhood. Yes, all around the country.
Great, but what kind of music were you listening?
Sort of.
No, it's fine. What kind of music, what sounds, which artists were you listening to as a kid?
As a kid, so here's the thing. As a kid, my dad loved country music and white music, and I don't know what to call Soul Brothers, the genre. I don't know what it falls under. So it's Soul Brothers, Freddie Gwala, Brenda Fassie, Ata Mafokati, a lady called Yonda Sister. I don't know if you can remember her, but she used to dance. No, she taught me to dance. And then my mom obviously was gospel music, and it's like mostly South African music. And they both love Michael Bolton, Celine Dion, the usual. So that's the music that I grew up listening to. Different genres and different types of music. And yeah, and my mother also taught at a school, like a mission school up by Nyaman's over there. And like every time they would have like these weekends where they'd have theater shows, right? Yeah. And so that's part of what influenced my music, because it was so fascinating for me, the things they would do on stage. So I would copy every single thing, and then me and my little sister would play it out. So yeah, musically, that's what makes me up.
Great. And would you describe yourself as a gospel artist, or because I've tried to listen to your catalog, you have quite diverse sound, but still very soulful. But how would you describe the kind of music that you make? Are you a gospel artist, or you're an artist who also does some gospel?
I have. A lot of people have been asking me that lately because a few people don't want to label me that, and they call me an inspirational artist. I am a contemporary gospel artist. I just am not limited to a genre under the gospel genre, because for some reason, that's a debate for another time. I don't like that gospel music is so I have to package it whichever way I feel like in whichever season. So yeah, some genres that I'm in, and just a few of them, and soul music and African is doing them. I just package it into that. I always say that I'm an artist who likes to explore the idea and the reality of God through my art. And so for me, that makes more sense. It will make more sense to people, then they know what to expect.
Yes. Great. But what goes into that creative process? Is it mainly from the spiritual, the religious side? What's involved in the creative process for you to put up the songs that you write and sing?
Well, for me, it's definitely spiritual. It's definitely spiritual. It's just not up in your face spiritual. I just have my way of delivering it is just it's art. It's a perfect example for me because there's so many things that God has been showing me through my journey so far in the past, only 4 years, but then recent 2 years in that my journey and the way I write music sometimes is not as direct because it's not praise and worship music. It's about him. And sometimes I talk to him, but then it's really about him and about the people. And so like the recent song that I just released, Tulawazi, is very, very spiritual. And people just, they're like, oh, it's so deep. It's so deep. I'm like, yeah, it's deep because it's spiritual, So you can't really pick it out and be like, oh, you are talking to God. Or you're talking about God sometimes, but you can feel it. And so it's definitely always spiritual. It just might not be in your face, spiritual.
Great. But what would you say were some of the key challenges that you've encountered so far, or you're going through that you have maybe had to overcome or trying to overcome for your music to get into the space that you'd want to?
The usual exposure. If I feel, I hope there's not overconfidence, but I feel me and some artists, if we had more exposure, then I would be achieving some goals that I have a bit faster. Social media helps, the media helps, but then there's some parts of it that we don't really always have access to, sometimes because of finances and sometimes because, just sometimes connections, and that's not blame only. The world is made up of connections. But yeah, my main challenge has just been finances and exposure because I'm self-funded, I'm self-managed. So a lot of things are just me. So it depends on how I can push it. And I've not done so bad, but I definitely would have done more. I would have loved to have done more, but we're still working, we're always working. Yeah.
Great. And you're talking about the financial requirements, the demands of you having to self-finance a project. Is there a business in music? Are you seeing an economy around what you're doing, or right now it's still driven just by passion and your love for music?
I do. It's about, it's all about strategy. It's just about business strategy. It's a startup business. And I just have to know that at some point, because I'm still starting up, there's some losses I'm going to make. Do my things right, cut things right. But I am trying not to then get into a whole seminar because I don't really have much to teach anyway. But then, you know what I mean, the business side of it. I know that it's going to pay at some point. And so I'm working towards that. It's definitely not just passion. I'm not rich enough to be doing this for just passion. You know what I mean? If I was, maybe, but I am not. Then it's definitely it will pay at some point. I have to believe it will. And the other thing also is that there are some artists that I see it's working for, and there's some artists that I see that it is a business and it is paying for them, and so they just give me the hope that it is possible. So I'll definitely get it. I'm supposed to not to be saying good things about it'll pay.
Great. And you're talking about possibilities and that it's possible. You just reminded me of the recent achievement by Shasha, and that
Right.
she just got a BET award.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Man, like so like when I heard she'd been nominated, right? And I'm gonna talk about her like I know her because I feel I do because I relate so much to her story. And I knew she'd won. I don't know if you ever feel this, and I knew she'd won, and like and I was like, if she wins that, she just breaks so many barriers, not just for herself, but for everybody else, for female artists, for Zimbabwean artists, for her genre, for her story. Like, and so it just showed me how people need to wake up, or we all just need to wake up and catch up with that. It's a global, like we are such, it's a really small world. You know what I mean? It's not so far anymore. The BT Awards are not so far anymore right now. Every single thing, everything is possible right now. Anything is possible right now. I'm so happy for that. I'm so happy for that. I just went off right now. I don't really remember what she just asked me. But yeah, I was really, really happy for her. I was happy for her. I was happy for myself because I have big dreams. She just showed me, girl, you can do it. And I said, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
That's super
Yeah.
encouraging because I think it had also the same kind of effect on me and a few other creatives that I interact with, that they started believing, look, the apple has fallen in our courtyard. It has fallen closer to where we are. So it means that it's actually possible. We can actually reach this. We can make it on the global stage. Wow, that's quite encouraging.
And if you are still playing, this is not the time.
True. And talking about your goals, what do you seek to achieve? Given maybe 5 years from now, where are we going to see Vuyo?
Right. If you guys are not careful, right? This is for Zimbabwe. If Zimbabwe is not careful, you will not be naming me from my vibe and not careful. I'm just saying. But on a serious note, though, there's so many things that I've planned to do. There's so many things that I want to do. I've never been a fan of actually sharing every single thing that I want to do. Yes. But I can only just say that definitely in the entertainment industry, because it's not just music for me, it's a whole vast of, it's a whole various things in entertainment and in just media. And, let's just say the name will be up there. That's what we're working towards. I hope it's not too vague, because you don't want to be releasing plans. They're like, oh, she said that. Yeah,
she said this, and then after 5 years, like, where are you now?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I totally get it. But I mean, looking at the music scene right now, do you feel that there is enough space for women? So that I've had to bring the feminine aspect because there's been a lot of conversation around it, and a lot of concerts that are happening right now. You don't see so many female artists performing there. It's male dominated.
Okay.
And the female concerts that are happening, or artists, shows with female artists, you don't really see much of traction in terms of numbers, despite the great quality that you see every day and the effort that the female artists are putting in. So I don't know, in your own personal perspective, do you feel that the space is balanced? There's equality when it comes to opportunities and opportunities that artists can access right now in Zimbabwe?
I don't think so. I don't. I think it's still really a patriarchal thing. I don't want to say patriarchal society because we kind of still are. We kind of still are, but we're slowly moving out of it in the entertainment industry and the business sector. But I think that it's just the sound that most female artists maybe have or maybe carry on the music that we have just doesn't appeal to the majority of the listeners right now. Even females, you understand what I mean? Jeff Fraser holds a show right now. Winky D holds a show. Most of the people that are watching are females, and most of the people are pushing are females. The other thing about music and about just business and product is that people are not going to go watch something like, oh, that's a fellow female. Let me go watch that fellow woman, No, does she have good music? Does she have the music that I want? And I'm not singing, baby, baby or something. So I don't have anything for her. unless I'm Beyonce and I'm saying, who runs the world. So it's all about, what people relate to. And right now, the males, most of the time, in online lives, they relate to them more. You understand what I mean? They're the ones with the music that's really loud and pushing out there. I'm trying to think of females that I've been doing, because other day I remember we did the Masa. I've seen Masa doing a few online shows and being part of a few, but then still her sound to mine, and it has a type of audience. It's not really gonna be the average female. I think, yeah, maybe if we had more female dancehall, artists, maybe, yeah. I'm sure we have them, but if we had more of them, exposing as well. So many things, and that sound like I'm complaining, but I think you see what I mean. Yeah, we just don't have the product for them. We don't have the music for them. The music we have is calm and chilled. So even people are watching right now. People respect her, and people just love gospel music. And still, it's not the same audience that will go to me. That will go to Masa. So we're not Vanchoga. So maybe we were.
I'm so scared ofความbeauty. And talking about collaborations, like who would you like to collaborate with? Is there an artist that right now you're like, look, I look forward to collaborating with this kind of artists? We share the same energy, or I think doing a project with them is one of my key goals. Who would that be?
I have a few. I have one local one, and I have a few local ones, but the first one has to be Janet Manua, because I have respect for what she's doing right now. Like, she has been, when we talk about a person being in a season, she has been in her season. It's been a long season, and she's still thriving in it. I would love to do. There's an artist called Lauren Daigle. I would love to do it like songs with her, because she's me. I feel I would relate to her. I love Black Diamond. Do you know Black Diamond?
Black Diamond, yeah, I'm a big time fan. This.
Oh, right.
I'm a big time fan. Yeah.
Music, for the sake of music, those guys are amazing.
Music. What's that song? Uba. Banoi.
Those songs. They are really dope. Like, they're so soulful, man. Their sound. Yeah.
Great.
So that's one of them. Beautiful.
That's awesome. And if you had a chance to change something within the music industry today, what would it be? Just one thing.
One thing.
Yeah.
I'll make my kind of music mainstream, more mainstream. Done. Okay. I'll just put it out there in the mainstream. I'll make Afro jazz. I'll make jazz mainstream. I'll make contemporary gospel. I'll make gospel mainstream. I'll make it's okay, and it's music, and it's just business to fuse sounds so that it's played in the mainstream, or it's played during drive time and all that. But I would love to just create that because I want to. I would just love to be able to just create what I want to create and the sound that I want to create, what's called alternative music or whatever it's termed, and just have it be playing anytime. I'll change that. I'm trying so hard to run away from politics here. I don't want to start it today. I know I can, but I don't want to.
Quite interesting. But I mean, if you're not working on anything musical, where do we find Vuyo? What does Vuyo occupy yourself with? Okay, so you're not singing, you're not recording, you're not performing, you're not doing anything musical.
When I'm not doing anything, when I'm not doing anything musical, I studied media. I am doing other stuff with that line. I'm also a full-time pastor, so I'm also doing that. I dabble in motivational stuff and teachings and
Yes.
grooming people, and so I'm also doing that. I like volunteer work as well. So I'm always giving myself up to, I don't know, to build something, to create something, to give, to go teach some kids somewhere, something. Definitely that. What else do I do? I think that's mainly what I do. That's mainly what or making money somewhere, somehow.
Quite interesting that you mentioned you being a pastor and, working with, communities. And considering that you're a young person, how do you relate to young people right now? Like, what sort of message or what sort of values are you imparting to young people? Because I bet so many young people look up to you, young girls, young boys, that are possibly not seeing any hope right now because of the economic situation Zimbabwe is going through.
Right.
What do you give them?
It's what makes me kind of sad is that the only thing I can do is just give them words of motivation, just like the songs I can create right now to really make anybody feel better. It's just songs of motivation or songs to make you feel better. I wish I could do more. I wish I could, I wish, I mean, if even the Bible talks about that, like, that we don't just go around talking about this can happen, that can happen. When people are hungry, bring food. Where people are not need to be warm and need clothes, bring them clothes, and not just talk about Jesus is there, all is well, and all of that. So I wish I could do more. And when I can, I do. But the young people that come to me, and ask me, in terms of what they really want to do in life and all the things to do, and most of them don't see it possible. I can only tell you all the possible. I can only tell you what God tells me, and that's the main thing about my music, is that I need you to feel the relationship that I have with God and what He says to me. And last year, the main thing He told me towards the end of that year, and things were already going bad, by the way. I mean actually things had been bad for a long time, and yet God just kept speaking all these positive things, and that all things are possible. And literally the line to me that I put in my song, and the song that's playing that I'm playing the most right now. And I put that in there because I was like, okay, with all this that's happening, you're telling me all that can happen, and all he has shown me since September last year is that all things are possible, and I'm reaching all these goals. And we're actually not just me, a few artists here in Zimbabwe right now are reaching all these goals that would seem impossible in any other time. But for some reason, COVID just seems like a blessing. So I'm saying there's a blessing everywhere. Just stay motivated. All things are possible. That's the only thing I can keep repeating. Anything is possible. You could be sitting at home right now and someone just calls you and tells you I have a job for you. Just like that. All things are possible. So, I think that's the only thing I can do right now, because I'm still stuck at home. I can't really go to them. But I can only motivate them and tell them whatever you dream to do, it is possible. If someone else can do it, Shasha can do it, so can you. Whatever you think Vuyo Brown has done so far, so can you. Whatever you think ASAF is doing right now, so can you. All things are possible.
Wow. Super awesome. All things are possible. I feel motivated and encouraged by your words. And I hope also some young people that are watching right now, especially young artists, they're seeing that possibilities. Currently, what are you working on musically? What are you creating? I know you've got some new material out, but what are you working on in the shortest possible time?
I'm always working. I'm always in the studio as much as I can go, as much as I can. And I can't really say what I'm going to release just yet, because I'm still deciding what to surprise people with. But all I'll say is that just be prepared for one morning when you just wake up and then you go online and you see my page and it's just saying new song out. Because I feel like being spontaneous and surprising people lately and not doing any. I don't know. The COVID is just waking a lot of things up in me. There's no time. So I'm working on a few songs. I hope to be releasing them soon. I hope to be. There's a few collaborations that I just can't talk about, but I'm so excited about. So yeah. More music.
More music.
I talk too much.
No, it's fine. Element of surprise, more music coming through, but I'm a fan or I'm somebody who's following your music. Where do I get to access it? How can I, what are your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube accounts? How do I access music from Vuyo?
Right. That's Vuyo Brown ZW across all platforms. That's from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's Vuyo Brown ZW. And Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, every single online store that you get your music. If you click Vuyo Brown there, you will find all my music. It's online. Where else? And also Zim Music online stores, like the Zim Music store. Yeah, that's the Zimbabwe one. The Zimbabwe one as well is also available. And yeah, my music is everywhere.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been awesome speaking to you. Your music is everywhere, but our listeners and our viewers would want to hear a snippet. I know when we started talking, you were humming or singing to something. It would be interesting. I know you didn't prepare for this, but I know you said you're always making music. It might be cool to just get a snippet. Yes.
Also, let's also note that people didn't pay. And
no, I to drop it. But apparently, Kokesh is down.
Convenient. All right. What was I saying? There's this song that, I'll do this. A short snippet, right? How long should I go? Because I can just 5 minutes.
30 seconds.
Okay.
45 seconds, yeah.
I'm not sitting to sing.
Okay. Cool.
Sometimes when I'm alone, I wanna sing for you. I hear a melody I feel was made for you. Won't you hear it? Won't you listen? Sa-di-da-di-bi-bi. Won't you hear it? Won't you listen? Sa-di-ba-di-bi-bi. Body, 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 body.
Wow.
Body, 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 body. Yeah.
Wow, super awesome.
You buy the song.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to look it up and play the song, download it, stream it, and I really appreciate. It's quite interesting because I think with a lot of pop music going up right now, there's a temptation, especially towards young people, to just go pop and they just do what's trending. Right. But you've remained stuck to, great compositions, great music, and really singing proper. And I really appreciate that. Well done.
I thank you for that. You're so kind. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, great. To everybody who's been watching, I've been speaking there to Vuyo Brown. It's been great speaking to her. She shared about her story, about her music, journey into music, and what she's currently working on in their dream collaboration. And a lot more. So just follow her, Vuyo Brown, ZW, across all the platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Vuyo Brown, ZW. Until next time, stay tuned to Earground, your voices amplified. And thank you so much, Vuyo.
Thank you. Thank you, Flor, for having me. Thank you.
Great. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.